Good morning, welcome to Spotlight. In Critical Thinking we have been learning about the House of Lords.
With this we invited Baroness Tanni Grey-Thompson in our academy to talk to us about the House of Lords.
What is your opinion on the way that society sometimes treats people with disabilities, even in your privileged position as a crossbencher in the House of Lords?
I think it's really difficult. You know, on the back of the Olympics and Paralympics, I think the attitude towards disabled athletes has just radically changed, where people are seen as, you know, competing for the country, and it's really honourable and it's amazing to do. But on the other side of that, at the moment, the lives for the vast majority of disabled people is really difficult, because a lot of the media portrayal of them is as benefit scroungers and skivers and sucking money out of the state, and the reality is, you know, it's not like that. You know, people aren't on one end or the other of a kind of a line. You know, there's lots of people sort of, you know, in the middle, and I think it's really challenging at the moment. You know, there's still reasonable amounts of discrimination against disabled people. Disability hate crime figures are the worst they've ever been in 10 years of reporting. So there's lots of challenges, but some of it has to come from disabled people themselves. There's not as many disabled people campaigning as there used to be. There's not as many people, you know, chaining themselves to the fences of Parliament as there used to be. So, you know, groups of disabled people need to actually be kind of shouting out about this as well. There's lots we can do in Parliament, but also there's lots that can be done in local communities. And if, you know, even down to if you see a disabled person being treated less favourably or being bullied, or, you know, it's other people speaking out about and helping, because next time it might be you.
What would you say the greatest challenges you've had to overcome to get where you are now?
Greatest challenges I've had to overcome is people thinking that because I'm in a chair I can't do things, that I shouldn't be in school or couldn't go to university. Actually, by the time I got to the Lords, you know, a lot of that had disappeared, but I think my experience had given me a lot of skills to deal with it. And it still does annoy me when people will talk down to me because I'm in a chair. I was in a shop the other week and I bought something, and the lady there said, "Now put your change in your purse, don't lose it." And I was going to throw it on the floor. Yeah. And you can't say that, you can't ever say that, but, you know, her view of a disabled person was that, you know, I was incompetent and shouldn't be out, and, you know, maybe shouldn't be part of society. I did have one person once who told me that people like you shouldn't have children. I went, "Oh, Welsh people, women who died there, oh, okay." And I try not to react, because actually they need educating and they need help. Not always easy to do that, but sometimes you need to take a deep breath, because actually in the position I'm in, which is very privileged, is I've got the opportunity to try and change those people's views. It doesn't always work, but you know, it is a challenge that people will look at somebody and make a decision. You know, they'll make a decision on what you look like, what your hair's like, whether you wear makeup or you're not wearing makeup, on your shoes, on your accent, where you live. And I think that's really hard, because actually that's not all of you as a person. That's just a little snapshot in time. So we all need to be a bit better at just being a bit more open-minded.
If you were to be elected Prime Minister, what would you change and why?
Wow. Ooh, that is so difficult. What would I change? I would not change lots of things, actually, because what happens is every time a new government comes in, everyone's got a better idea of doing things, and everything changes. So education policy changes all the time, and sports policy changes all the time, and lots of things change all the time. And everyone kind of thinks that they need to put their own stamp on it. And what happens too much is that we throw out the good things with the things that need to be better. So sometimes I'd like to just say, okay, just stop a minute, let's just see what we can do to improve some things, rather than trying to change everything all the time. I would really like to change the benefit system to be about helping people, not about people having to prove what they can't do. I think that's really negative, and I think it makes people feel very differently about themselves. But I'm not sure that realistically could ever change, because it doesn't fit into a nice system or a box or an assessment process. And what I would love to see is people working together, but I'm not sure this would ever happen in party politics, because that's not the nature of party politics, but kind of making more collaborative decisions. You know, you see it in other countries that have coalitions of lots of different smaller parties where decisions are taken differently. Our system doesn't really make that terribly easy. So instead of it being that or that, I'd like to see us making a bit more decisions. That's some of the things the Lords does well, is trying to make some of those decisions a bit more collaboratively. But that would be difficult to do as well. And I'd probably be out of time when I try to change some of those things. But it's a pretty tough job being Prime Minister. I'm not sure I'd really want to do it, because it's just, you know, it's really hard.
I'm going to come away from the House of Lords, to your Paralympic side. What inspired you to become a Paralympian?
Really love doing sport. I like competing. I like training. I had some really great coaches and some people around me who helped me. I like trying to win. Really like trying to win. Lost more races in my career than I won, but I just wanted to be the best I could. I wanted to kind of beat everyone else. So it was, yeah, it was kind of hard. Lots of times that were pretty miserable and hard and cold and wet and covered in snot. So that's mostly how I remember my career. But yeah, it was always what I wanted to do more than anything else. It was never a choice. People say, what did you have to sacrifice to be an athlete? Nothing. My family put up with loads. My husband, you know, I was away a lot. It was just the thing that I wanted to do, and I was really lucky to have the chance to do it. And as a child, no one thought I was any good, because the best girl in Britain went to my school and it wasn't me. So everyone always just thought she was going to be the one who made it. So that kind of made me really determined. Thank you.
When you see these images, what do you feel?
Our classes used to laugh, some even got angry, and some did not understand why they came to our country.
In English, I've been reading a book called Boy Overboard. Any of you think like we did, you must read it.
Do you understand or even know how strict Taliban rules are, and how they make illegal things we take for granted? The internet, TV, and even playing football.
I have now changed and now understand why they come here.
I would recommend this book because it had changed my opinion on immigrants. This book's about a family trying to escape Afghanistan. The family is one dad, Jamal, and brother. The friends are Andrew, Rashida, Omar, and Yusuf. You'll find out about Andrew, Rashida, and Omar later in the story.
And we want to escape Afghanistan because the government has built the houses because they're having a secret school.
In Afghanistan, you're not allowed music, so what the government done, they took loads of music out of the cars and out of the houses and put it over a tree and show that they're not allowed them. And then our class made a list of things that they'd miss if they were in Afghanistan.
They'd miss in our class they'd miss the family, the friends, freedom, the best sports, the hobbies like football, different sports and fizzy drinks and playing outside. TV, school, phone, laptop, friends and family.
It's not mine.
I'm not taking the blame for it.
Neither am I.
I'm bringing my dad down if she starts on me.
Nana will go berserk.
Because it wasn't our fault.
Because it was smoking.
Wim.
Who is?
You are, you frightened.
Me? No.
You are, you're shaking.
I'm cold.
Look, it's not our fault, we're not to blame.
We were smoking by the sports sheds.
So, I'll take the blame for that, but not the rest.
I can't help it.
What? Feeling guilty? Well, don't. That's just what they're waiting to hear, and they'll drop the whole lot on you.
I can't help it. That kid, is he alright?
I don't know, do I?
He's only year 7.
Just shut up, will you? It's not our fault.
Right, so Annalise, you've been round, you've had a look at different subjects. Have you decided what you're going to do?
Yeah, I'm going to choose GCSE drama, triple award science. I have to do French, and then history out of history and geography. And then I get to do critical thinking and enrichment.
Yeah, sounds good. So what's made you make those choices?
I enjoy drama, and I didn't want to choose like all academic subjects because I thought it'd be like too much to handle and too much pressure. So I thought if I choose drama, then it's going to be like evenly like out, and I'm really interested in science.
What subjects have you decided to choose?
GCSE PE, catering, geography, and art.
Common arts and business.
Why those particular two?
Because I like business that I get to learn about like different types of businesses and performing arts because I like dancing and stuff.
Enjoy it. Good? Yeah. Good enough reason? Do you know what you want to do when you leave school? Do you got any ideas?
I want to work at the theatres or have my own business.
Oh, well, perfect choices then. Performing arts and business. Thank you. So you've had a look. Have you decided what you want to do for your pathway?
I don't have a clue.
So why is that then? What do you think?
I would want to go and check what topics that we choose. And choose the right ones what would help me in the future.
Have you got any ideas at all?
I would like to do motor vehicles and GCSE PE.
I think I'm going to choose double science because and health social because I want to be a nurse.
Yeah.
And I think they're the best options for me to pick because they'll get me where I want to go.
Yeah. Right, Bethany, you've been around. What subjects have you chosen?
Business and triple science for my first, and then I've done critical thinking and catering for my second.
Okay, what have you got reasons for choosing those subjects?
Well, I love science, so I've done triple science, and then I think with the career I want to do, business would be really helpful.
And what's the career that you think you've done?
Marine biology.